We are about to start our 30 minutes of movement, stretching, breathing, becoming more aware of our bodies, the breath, and the nature of the mind. Inviting you to start by laying on our backs. The feet can be down on the mat, just taking some time to stretch, to reach out with the hands, with the feet. Maybe go to one side, a little banana pose, one direction, the other. Resting on the mat. If you'd like, you can bend the knees, less activation on the lower back. You can allow the knees to come in on each other, half shavasana. Hands can be on the sides, hands can be on the belly, the chest. Taking some time to reconnect with the body, with the breath. We're going to be doing a full body stretch. We're going to be close to the floor the entire time. Today is a more restorative, slower practice. And the addition that I'm adding today is as we enter different positions and postures, I'm going to encourage you to take 3 deep breaths. If you can, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. Exploring what it's like to start the posture or the stretch with the 3 breaths. So, with that, we can bring the knees up, squeezing them closer to the chest, the belly. You can bring them closer together, wider apart. You can hug them. 3 deeper breaths. And encouraging you now to move the feet up and down, pointing the toes, flexing the toes, making some circles in one direction and in the other direction. And now planting one of the feet on the mat, straightening out one of the legs, grabbing that leg, and pulling it closer, feeling a nice stretch in the back of the leg. My hamstrings are really tight. So this is my range of motion, but maybe some of you are having that shin close to the face. Again, 3 breaths here. And if you'd like, pointing the toes up and then flexing the toes back. Pointing, flexing, noticing how different muscles and tendons are activated this way. Remembering to breathe. Bending the leg, placing the outer ankle on top of the knee that's bent, curling the toes back. By doing so, we activate the tendons, protecting the knee, and maybe just gently pressing here. Or if you'd like, reaching through, grabbing the back of the leg or the front of the leg. Those 3 breaths. With each in breath, we can expand, lengthen, and with the out breaths, we can go deeper, soften, let go. Placing the foot back down, the feet back down. If you'd like, windshield wiping the feet and the knees one direction and the other. Repeating now on the other side. So starting out by bringing the other leg closer in, giving it a little squeeze. Lengthening that leg. Grabbing back of the leg or front of the leg, the clothing. 3 deeper breaths. If you'd like, pointing, flexing the feet, pointing the toes up, pointing the toes back. Bringing the leg down, crossing it over, putting it on top of that knee, pressing into the knee if you'd like, or reaching through, grabbing back or front of the leg. Practicing not only breathing, but being kind. Lots of judgments, lots of criticality, lots of mean thoughts can arise as we practice. As best you can, being kind. It's all about the practice, about the sensations, about the breath. No one really cares how deep you go or how the position looks like. Bringing the feet back down. Bringing both knees in closer. Making some circles. Rolling that lower back into the floor, into the mat, in one direction and in the other. And we will now straighten both legs, bringing them close together, grabbing the legs or the clothes. Breathing here. If you notice your lower back has gone off the ground, inviting you to bring it back down. Bending the legs. One last squeeze of the knees. Maybe rocking side to side. And I invite you now to transition onto your hands and knees. So, in a skillful way, maybe rocking to one side, pushing yourself up, maybe rocking forwards and backwards, crossing the legs, coming through. So, however, you get into a tabletop position, the hands more or less above the shoulders, knees above the hips, and taking some time here to wiggle, to move. And inviting you to breathe in as you lower the spine down to the mat. Breathing out, squeezing the belly in, bringing the spine towards the sky. Two more like that. Down, breathing in, up, breathing out. One more. From here, placing the hands out in front of us a little bit more, and skillfully bringing one of the feet out in front. Your hands can be on the mat, can be holding the leg, you can be using objects for support. If it's tough on the knee, extra padding could be really helpful. Taking some time here to explore this posture, to move around, to breathe into the spaces that we're creating. You might even want to push out that knee. The inside of the feet can come up. And once you've found a position you'd like to be in, I want to say comfortable, but I know this might be very challenging for some of us. Once you find your position where you can be a bit more still, taking those 3 breaths, maybe noticing how the mind can make this practice more difficult. The thoughts about the practice can shorten the breath, can tense the body. So perhaps exploring how the breath can be your friend. Pushing ourselves onto our hands once again. If you'd like, you can lift the back foot. If you'd like, you can twist to look at the back foot. You can grab a rope or a belt or a strap, or you can reach back with the hand, grab the foot. If you're grabbing the foot, kicking the foot back so that pulls your shoulder back. Once that's done, you can then bring the foot closer. Just 3 breaths here. Gently letting go. Straightening out the front leg. You could still have a bend in the leg. Doing your best to realign the hips, bringing the hands forward, feeling a nice deep stretch in that hamstring, maybe softening more the neck, the head, maybe waving the foot from side to side, see how that affects the body. Smiling, breathing. Bending back, hands in front, leg goes back, reaching both hands out in front, bringing the chest and the head closer to the floor, stretching the chest, the shoulders, the back. Coming back up. Repeating on the other side. So bringing the other foot forward. Giving yourself some space and some time to explore this side. We are not symmetric beings. Each side is different. Noticing our internal voice. Ah, I like that side more. Ah, this side's better. And seeing if we could be more friendly, more kind to both sides equally. Maybe the side we don't like even more. Pushing out if you'd like. Finding a more comfortable position here. Taking your 3 breaths. By breathing in fully and deeply, we're oxygenating, resourcing, energizing the body. By breathing out, we're getting rid of carbon, waste, toxins, byproducts, things the body doesn't need anymore. Coming back on the hands, twisting, looking back. If you'd like, bringing that foot up, grabbing it, hello foot, pulling the arm back, shoulder opens up more, squeezing the leg more in, smiling. Gently bringing that foot down, bringing the hips back as we straighten more that front leg. Coming back to the front, bringing that leg back, sitting back on our heels, feet are curled. Take some time to stretch the feet and the toes. Can also be quite stimulating and difficult posture for many of us. Didn't mention it much today, but always modifying, always coming out of the posture if it becomes painful. From here, inhaling, looking up, exhaling, looking down, chin closer to chest, breathing in, looking up, out, down, in, up, down. Now we'll go head in the middle, look towards one side, breathing in, and as we breathe out, going to the other side. 2 more like this. Last one. Back on the hands, planting the top of the feet on the mat, toes close together, sitting back, bringing the hands forward, child's position. Walking the hands to one side. Opposite hand goes on top, a little side stretch. Walking the hands to the other side. Opposite hand goes on top now. Side stretch. Again. Breathing into that side. Back to middle. Elbows down. Gliding close to the mat through. Onto our bellies. Feet wide. Forearms on the mat. Palms on the mat or the floor. Shoulders back. 3 breaths in Sphinx. And now from Sphinx, you can either make your way onto your back into Shavasana, corpse, or half Shavasana, or like me, you can bring the hands out in front, bent, hands on top of each other, resting the forehead on the back of the hands, crocodile. Taking these last few seconds just to be. Congratulating yourself for making the time to invest in yourself, your breath, your body, your mind. It's a lifelong practice to move, to breathe, to be kind. We are what we practice. Feeling free to stay here a bit longer if you'd like. Otherwise, this marks the end of our movement for today. Thank you kindly. Wishing you a wonderful rest of the day, weekend ahead. Thanks for being. Thanks for doing what you do.